In the picturesque town of Positano, nestled on Italy's stunning Amalfi Coast, lived Luca Moretti, a humble pizza maker with a lifelong passion for his craft. Known to locals as Il Maestro della Pizza, Luca had inherited his tiny family pizzeria from his father, who had it from his father before him. Luca's creations were legendary, thin, crispy, and topped with only the finest ingredients that seemed to sing of the Italian countryside itself. But Luca's world was turned upside down when a mega food corporation, Gusti International, decided to expand into Positano. Known for cutting corners and promoting cheap, tasteless food, Gusti International aimed to monopolize Italy's pizza market by flooding it with artificially flavored, mass-produced pizzas at bargain prices. And Positano's locals were intrigued by the low prices Gusti offered, making Luca's heart ache as he watched long-time customers leave for cheaper slices. One day, as Luca was tending to his dough, a representative from Gusti International entered his shop with a devious offer: a hefty sum of money in exchange for adding a secret ingredient powder from Gusti to his pizzas. This secret ingredient, the rep claimed, would enhance flavor, improve shelf life, and allow Luca to save on expensive herbs and spices. All he had to do was blend it in with his sauce, and no one would ever know. It was a tempting offer. Times were hard, and Luca had 2 children to support, bills piling up, and a customer base dwindling by the day. But Luca hesitated, remembering his father's words: "A true pizza is an honest pizza." Torn, he consulted his family and friends, hoping someone would tell him what to do. Luca's son, Matteo, a young environmental activist, was particularly vocal. "Papa," he said earnestly, "Gusti's secret ingredient is toxic. It's not natural. You'll lose what makes our pizzas special." But even Matteo's warnings weren't enough to fully convince Luca. He worried about his family, his livelihood, and his future. That night, in a mix of anxiety and curiosity, Luca decided to visit a nearby Gusti International location. What he found shocked him. Workers were adding the secret ingredient powder with minimal regard for safety or quality. He could tell that the employees, who looked miserable and overworked, had no love for the product they were creating. Luca saw firsthand the mass production, the disregard for quality, and the deceptive tactics that Gusti used to sell their Italian pizza to customers who had no idea what they were eating. The next day, with renewed determination, Luca made a bold decision. He would refuse Gusti's offer. But he wouldn't just stop there. Luca decided to launch an honest pizza campaign, sharing his story with Positano's locals, explaining why real, quality ingredients mattered and how it impacted their health, community, and the environment. He invited them to a free pizza night, where they could taste the difference for themselves. The word quickly spread, and even visitors from nearby towns came to try Luca's pizzas. They were captivated by his passion, and soon Luca's campaign caught the attention of journalists who began to cover his story. To everyone's surprise, Luca's resistance to Gusti International inspired other small business owners across Italy to reject corporate shortcuts and promote authenticity. Eventually, Gusti faced backlash from the Italian public, as people questioned the impact of their food choices on health, the economy, and Italian culinary heritage. In the end, Luca's little pizzeria flourished, becoming a beacon of authenticity and tradition. He taught the town, and anyone who would listen, that some things, like integrity and quality, should never be for sale. Lesson: in a world where convenience and profit often overshadow quality and integrity, it's essential to remember that honesty, pride in one's work, and a commitment to quality will always resonate with people. We're all responsible for what we consume and support, and sometimes saying no to shortcuts is the best way to preserve what matters most.